Hello again, and welcome to my podcast. I'm continuing my series on Psalm 23, and again, I'm still staying on Psalm 23, verse 2. I think today will be the last time I'll be looking at Psalm 23, verse 2. But let me read out Psalm 23, verse 2 to you. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside quiet waters. When David wrote that he leads me beside quiet waters, this reminds me of the verse in the book of Ecclesiastes, which says, "Better one handful with tranquility than two handfuls with toil and chasing after the wind." You see, it's preferable to have a period of tranquility than constantly toiling over something. It's better to experience a time of calm or rest than to be perpetually toiling and working hard to do things. It's better to have a rest. And this is a fundamental concept to God's plan for each one of us. He leads us beside quiet waters because he desires for us to have periods of rest. We are reminded that God himself rested and after he created the universe. Moses wrote, "Thus the heavens and the earth were completed in all their vast array. By the seventh day, God had finished the work he had been doing. So on the seventh day, he rested from all his work. Then God blessed the seventh day and made it holy, because on it he rested from all the work of creating that he had done." So you see, God rested and made the period of rest holy. And this is what God is calling us to do. He wants us to observe a period of rest. You see, 4 years ago, one of my sons became a university student. He continued working with his employer, but with reduced hours. However, he reviewed his schedule and realized he was still working 7 days a week without any time for rest. So consequently, he decided to reduce his working hours further by taking a day off. So though his income decreased, he was now able to enjoy a day of rest. It's better to have a smaller income and rest than having a larger income and no rest. Jesus, our good shepherd, put it in another way. He said, "Come to me all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light." So first of all, we are to go to Jesus. We should pause what we are doing, take a moment, go to Jesus and share with him all our woes and troubles. So what are you doing right now? Are you still at the cold phase of your life? Are you still laboring away, toiling tirelessly, trying to improve all those small aspects of your life? Jesus encourages us to cease what we are doing and go to him. What are your burdens? Are they financial issues? Are they family problems? Are they work-related problems? We all face challenges, and so did Jesus. Jesus didn't possess any money at all, and Judas Iscariot, who was a thief, managed the funds that came his way. When it was time to pay the temple tax, the coin needed for the tax was retrieved from a fish. Jesus had financial issues, yet he was the master of the money. Let me repeat that. When Jesus had to pay the temple tax, he had no money, and therefore he told Peter to go to the lake, get a fish, and retrieve the coin from the mouth of the fish. And there was enough money to pay the temple tax for Peter and Jesus. Jesus is the master of money. Jesus also had family troubles. His own family did not believe in him. They thought he was traveling around the country to make a name for himself and become famous. They even said to Jesus, "Leave Galilee and go to Judea so that your disciples there may see the works you do." No one who wants to become a public figure acts in secret. Since you are doing these things, show yourself to the world. Show yourself to the world. But Jesus wasn't seeking to become a public figure. He anticipated the moment he would enter Jerusalem just before Passover and become the sacrificial lamb that took away the sins of the world. You see, family was still important to Jesus. And near the cross of Jesus stood his mother's sister, Mary, the wife of Cleopas, and Mary Magdalene. And when Jesus saw his mother there and the disciple whom he loved standing nearby, he said to her, "Woman, here is your son," and to the disciple, "Here is your mother." From that moment on, this disciple took her into his home. And so even although Jesus was on the cross, Jesus continued to care for others and for his family. Even on the cross, Jesus concentrated on the family needs. You see, Jesus understands your financial and family issues and said that we should come to him and find rest. We can lay down our burdens at his feet. We ought to entrust our problems to him and rely on him. His comforting words and understanding of our troubles ought to provide relief and solace for us. Lastly, we can enter into holy communion with the Creator God when we rest. In resting, we position ourselves to hear God more clearly. By taking periods of rest, we allow God to guide us in the directions that he desires for our lives. I've said it several times before, but during the days of Elijah, God said to him, "Leave here, turn eastward and hide in the Kerith ravine, east of Jordan. You will drink from the brook, and I have directed the ravens to supply you with food there." And so during the famine, God cared for Elijah and fed him and gave him water. But then God said to Elijah, "Go at once to Zarephath in the region of Sidon and stay there. I have directed a widow there to supply you with food." And so while the famine raged across Israel, Elijah was fed and watered at the Kerith ravine, after which he was commanded to go to Zarephath to be cared for. And so you see, after the devastation of the famine, God spoke to Elijah by the waters of the stream in this Kerith Valley and provided him with instructions to go to this pagan town in Zarephath. And God refreshed his soul when he was needing that still waters. And so today, we are encouraged to stop what we are doing. We are encouraged to go to Jesus and give him our troubles. When we do that, we will hear from him and he can direct our paths, allowing us to live a successful Christian life, a life that's full. And so I hope you will take that on board today. So hope you enjoyed that message. God bless you. Speak to you soon. Goodbye.